Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here. I appreciate you all so much for the support you've given me. It's what keeps me showing up and recording these. Before we get into today's episode, I want to be upfront with you. This one is really personal. I've been sitting with it for a while, trying to figure out how to say it in a way that does it justice. So, here it goes. When I say fandom saved me, I don't mean it in a dramatic movie montage kind of way. I don't mean some sudden lightning bolt moment where everything changed overnight. I mean it in the quiet way, the everyday survival kind of way. The kind where you're just holding on and something gives you a reason to keep holding. That's what fandom did for me. And today, I want to tell you exactly how. I actually want to start with something a little embarrassing, honestly. I almost didn't watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The first part was slow. I wasn't immediately grabbed. I remember thinking, okay, this is fine, but I totally don't get the hype yet. But I kept going, and somewhere in there, something shifted. The further I got, the more I understood what this show actually was. It was bold. It was emotional. It was completely unhinged in the most committed, earnest way possible. It didn't apologize for being exactly what it was. And something about the sheer, unapologetic weirdness of it, just pulled me into. Which, honestly, it says a lot about me, too. I was drawn to something that refused to be anything other than itself. A part of me was craving permission to do the same. I think I needed to see that more than I realized. And from there, it just grew. Here's the thing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that I think people who haven't watched it might not fully understand. It's not just one story. It's a legacy. Each part follows a different JoJo, a different person carrying that name, that bloodline, that weight, and they all stand for something a little different. But underneath all of it, there's this through line. Protect your people. Do what's right. Keep going, even when it costs you everything. And it cost them a lot. I'm going to go ahead and throw in a disclaimer here. For the next few minutes, I will be talking about massive spoilers all throughout JoJo. I'm going to go ahead and throw in a disclaimer here. For the next few minutes, I will be talking about massive spoilers all throughout JoJo because I'm caught up with everything but JoJo Lands and I'm just waiting for more of it to come out before I can go ahead and binge read that. So, back to what I was saying. Joseph and Lisa sobbed, and I also sobbed when Caesar died. Cockewing's death wrecked me. Raimi is so underrated, and her role in Part 4 still doesn't get the recognition it deserves. And then, Part 5, Bruno, Abacchio, Narancia, that found family getting torn apart piece by piece while Giorno just keeps moving forward. I sobbed reading it. I sobbed watching it. JoJo doesn't let its characters die cheaply. Every loss means something. Every death changes something. The grief is real, and the love behind it is realer. That's not escapism. That's a survival manual written in the most gloriously bizarre written way imaginable. There are certain characters in this universe that didn't just stand out to me. They felt like pieces of myself I didn't have words for yet. And I want to talk about a few of them. I think that this is actually how fandom works at its best. Not as a distraction from real life, but as a mirror. A way of understanding yourself through someone else's story. Raimi represents that quiet, lingering part of me that's always been through things. That's been hurt, but still wants to guide others. Still wants to protect people. There's something so gentle about her even with everything she's carried. She shows up to help even after her own story ended in the hardest way possible. That kind of selflessness, that desire to still be a light for someone else when you've already been through the dark, I really feel that. Narancia, he's emotional, he's loud, He's vulnerable and messy, and he feels everything so intensely. I relate to that so deeply. The part of me that just wants to be understood, that feels things at full volume, and sometimes doesn't know where to put it all. Naranjo wears his heart completely open, and that gets him hurt sometimes. But it also makes him one of the most human characters in the series. His death broke me, it still breaks me, because you can't watch someone love that openly and not feel it when they're gone. And then there's Jolene. She resonated with me instantly. She's spunky, she has an attitude, she's defiant, and I love that about her. She doesn't just accept things as they are. She pushes back, she questions, she fights, and I see that in myself too. But more than anything, she's resilient, not perfectly, not gracefully all the time. She breaks down, she doubts herself, she loses people she loves and keeps going anyway. She cares so deeply about the people around her, she uplifts them, supports them, fights for them even when she's running on empty. I connect with her on the deepest level because she doesn't start out strong, she becomes strong. And that gives me hope that I can keep becoming too. And now there's Lucy from part 7, and she represents that quiet courage. The part of me that is scared, overwhelmed, unsure of herself, but still shows up anyway. She doesn't feel fearless. She feels everything. And she does it anyway. She reminds me that bravery doesn't mean the fear goes away. It just means you keep moving in spite of it. Yasuho is the other one that resonates with me on a really special level. She deals with things that feel so real. Depression, being stuck in your own head, the weight of the everyday struggles that aren't dramatic but are very much there. And her stand is helping her before she even realizes it exists. It's guiding her, connecting things, protecting her without her understanding what's happening yet. That really gets me, because I think there are parts of me trying to help me survive before I even understood what I was going through. Before I had the language or tools or the awareness, something in me was already finding a way. And when Yasuho finally understands her own power, she doesn't become aggressive or loud about it. She becomes more intuitive, supportive, essential. She's still completely herself. She's still quirky and warm and full of life. She just finally understands herself a little bit better. When it comes to JoJo and community, there's another part of this that's also related I don't talk about enough. And honestly, it shaped me just as much as anything else. For years, I was part of the online roleplay community. When it comes to all my favorite characters from JoJo, they also double as my roleplay muses. I missed writing and roleplaying with my friends so much. On top of that, if you're not actually familiar with Tupperbox, it's a bot that lets you roleplay as characters on Discord and tracks your message count. You know how many messages I've sent as Jolene? Over 12,000. 12,000 times or more, I've stepped into her voice, her worldview, her way of pushing back and protecting people and refusing to quit. Over 12,000 times, I got to practice being someone who doesn't shrink, who doesn't apologize for taking up space, who loves fiercely and fights for what matters. I think that did something to me in the best way possible. Because when you spend that much time inhabiting a character, you start to absorb her. Not in a weird dissociative way, in a way that the good stories always change you a little. You carry their lessons. You borrow their courage when yours runs low. Jolene gave me a voice to practice being brave in. I kept practicing until it started feeling like my own. It's helped me adapt in real life, especially during challenging and tough moments. I have quite a few stories to talk about in an upcoming podcast about that. On top of that, there's also cosplay. And when I cosplay these characters, it's not just dressing up. I want to be really clear about that. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about letting parts of yourself finally being seen. It's similar to role-playing, but brighter. Because it's you. It feels like stepping into those parts of myself and letting them exist out loud. Like, I'm allowed to take up space in those ways. Like the version of me that's resilient like Jolene, or gentle like Raimi, or quietly brave like Lucy. She gets to be visible for a day, and she gets to exist outside of just me. Cosplay is a love letter to a character who made you feel less alone. That's genuinely how I think about it. And when you put that costume on and look in the mirror, something clicks into place that's hard to describe unless you felt it. Cosplay has empowered me so much in my entire life. Picking characters I was drawn to or even grew to slowly love over time. Photo shoots are so easy for beginners now too, with phone camera quality being so good combined with an easily budgetable tripod light stand. It makes it easy to figure out and be able to share your cosplay with others. When you look through pictures later and find those top 3 out of 100 shots, your eyes grow bigger and happiness takes over. Like, that's me. I look so amazing. I have lots of cosplay story time, so if you all would like me to make a small podcast series centering on cosplay or any other ideas you guys have, please let me know in the comments. After years of being in the JoJo fandom, watching it, cosplaying it, role-playing it, connecting with the people through it, 7 years to be exact, I finally got the JoJo star tattooed on me. Maybe it was because I was still becoming the person who deserved to wear it, but when I finally sat in that chair and it was done, when I saw it finished in the mirror reflecting back at me, I felt honor, I felt kindness, I felt bravery, and I felt resilience. 4 things this story taught me over years of watching, reading, role-playing, cosplaying, crying over fictional deaths at 2 a.m. 4 things I had been slowly building inside myself without realizing it. It wasn't just a tattoo, it was proof. Proof that I had carried this with me long enough for it to become a part of me. Proof that I made it through the years that needed it carrying. Now, I don't need the temporary tattoos anymore for cosplay, but honestly, I think it was waiting until I felt ready. Practicing, experiencing, becoming, holding on to something close until I was ready to hold it permanently. And that's what fandom does at its best. So, when I say fandom saved me, here's what I actually mean. It gave me characters to grow alongside. It gave me stories that held my grief and my hope at the same time. It gave me a voice to practice being brave in, and a community to be weird and soft and intense without apology. It gave me pieces of myself before I knew how to build a whole person. Fandom didn't make me escape my life. It helped me stay in it. And if you ever felt like a character understood you in a way real life didn't, you're not alone in that. And there's nothing weird about it. Sometimes fiction reaches places nothing else can. Sometimes it teaches you how to survive the real challenges, even if it's symbolic. Sometimes it's real challenges life brings on you and you go, what would insert character here do? Which brings up the question I'd love for you all to reflect on. Is there a character who understood you before you understand yourself? What did they give you that you're still carrying? I hope you all found this podcast episode relatable. I want to be able to make others feel less alone and also understood. Which brings up the next topic we're going to chat about and get a little broader with this, because I have a lot more to say about what anime specifically does for mental health and why I don't think it's escapism at all. That episode is going to be called Anime is My Antidepressant, and it's the more universal follow-up to everything we talked about today. I thank my friend for suggesting this episode topic for episode 4. Until then, be gentle with yourself, keep going, and come find your party.